you're probably just about to buy your first barefoot running shoes. And I've been running with barefoot shoes for over 3 years now, and I'm going to share from my experience what are the cons and pros of using barefoot shoes, especially for beginners. My name is Gil, and I would like to give you some tips about using barefoot shoes for your new or newish habit of running with shoes. So let me tell you about my experience about running with my barefoot shoes for the first time. Probably like you, I've heard about the trend, I've seen it online. What really attracted me initially was the fact that instead of running with shoes that are made for running to improve your performance, etc., I wanted to run in a more naturalist way. All our ancestors were running perhaps barefoot or with just really thin soles. So I loved that idea, and I thought, wow, that must be the best thing for my body. Surely running in the most natural way brings you back to your origins. So I put it on my Christmas list, and Bex got me a pair secondhand on Marketplace. It was almost as new. By the way, very good tip. People start with barefoot running and make all the mistakes and stop using them, and then they sell them very cheaply. So if you are tight on money or you're thinking about buying secondhand, go on Marketplace or eBay and you'll find many different types of shoes in many sizes. Back to my story. So I got the shoes on Christmas Day. I was very excited. The next day I arranged to go with a friend, Joe, to go for a run. I was so excited going with my barefoot shoes. Went for a run. It felt okay. It didn't feel anything different. And the next day I couldn't walk for 3 days. I had to stay in the house. My calves were so painful. I never felt anything like that. And just then I realized that barefoot shoes running isn't as straightforward as I thought it was. And I was pretty exposed to it. I read it online. I was very close to ditch these shoes just there and then. Why would I have shoes that make my calf so painful? Why would I go for a run or walk with shoes that are not comfortable and hurt my body? So then I went on and did some more research, and then I realized that running with barefoot shoes isn't as straightforward. There's a very long transition that we need to go through. There's a lot more I need to learn from transferring from regular shoes into barefoot shoes. I'm gonna run now through the list of pros and cons running, get it, of using your barefoot shoes. I'm not gonna pretend to be one of those people that done extensive research. I'm just gonna give you what I know about barefoot shoes running and what I've learned and researched for this video. Okay, so I've been running back and forth on the same stretch for a long time. Don't want to leave my drone in the bushes for too long, so I'm running back just to see that no person slash animal decided to rummage through my bag. Okay, so if I'm taking a little bit of a break, there's no one here, so I might as well sit down here. The biggest pro of running with barefoot shoes is the shape of the shoe. When you look at the shoes, they look a little bit like clown shoes, so the front of the shoe is really wide. Why is it so wide? It really is to let your feet spread and open up and have the natural shape of the foot. I'm going to show you a picture of my son's foot. He's just 6 months old, and you can see that naturally our legs are really wide at the front. The biggest distance in the front of the leg is between your toe and your little toe. That is how our legs should be like. But with modern shoes, you'll see that the toe box is way more narrow. That's how people get issues with their feet. We lose the natural shape of the foot and kind of box it in and make it even more narrow. That is by far the biggest advantage. And if you've done yoga before or any balancing exercise, you'll see that the best way to keep balance is to keep your feet spread. So you spread your toes, spread your feet, and that is the strongest and the best way to keep balance on your feet. The second advantage of using barefoot shoes is the fact that there's zero drop, meaning that there is no extra padding from toe to heel. All the foot is absolutely flat. There's no cushioning or extra heels like normal trainers do. And the biggest advantage that causes is to keep your original and natural balance. When you're using heels, your body automatically needs to compensate. So leaning your bum forward a bit or backwards and kind of losing a little bit of your natural balance. The body isn't completely straight. If you don't have any heels and the leg is absolutely flat, that should really help you with any back problems. Can I say that my back isn't sore? No, I can't. Having kids and carrying babies, lifting things wrong, or sitting in front of your computer editing videos, definitely not very good for your back. I can't really testify whether walking with barefoot shoes or running with barefoot shoes is really helping, but by the off chance that it does, I feel comfortable wearing them and I feel really straight and I feel like my posture is really good. So I think this is a great advantage. The fourth thing that is really good about using barefoot is that it does really strengthen your feet. It makes your feet and your legs muscles very strong, especially because when you run or walk, you need to land with your front or the front side really of your foot rather than using your ankle first. So when you're barefoot running, your ankle barely never touches the floor. I did that mistake when I went for the first run ever and realized that is a #1 thing not to do. My ankle shouldn't really touch the floor. It's really more about a front landing and I kind of use the front right arch, so the front of the foot is landing first and then it goes on the arch and back, and the ankle barely touches the floor. So when you're barefoot running properly, you should maintain that arch, and that really is the trick of barefoot running. Once you get used to that type of running in that way, you'll see that your run will improve, your legs will improve, and you'll really strengthen your feet. I wanted to show you the difference between regular trainers and barefoot running in terms of the space that your toes have when you wear them. So have a look between my old trainers I haven't worn for 3 years probably. I'm surprised they still lasted in the cupboard, and my Vivo barefoot shoes. What about socks? They smell. A lot of barefoot runners prefer using socks and some don't. It's really up to you. I don't really think socks give you any more cushioning, even though maybe just a millimeter of cushioning. I like wearing them, I'm used to it, but it's up to you. My name is Gil Drury. I'm an adventurer and outdoor leader. I'm part of the band Family Adventures. My wife and I are creating videos about outdoors, lifestyle and adventures. Please do like this video and subscribe now. That would be absolutely great. So now we're going to the challenges of barefoot shoes. I think by far the biggest challenge with this baby is really that it takes a long time to adjust to barefoot running. People think, like me, that it's just a matter of buying it online, getting it on, putting it on and going for a normal run like before, and it's absolutely nonsense. You need to take time to adjust, and I think it took me about 6 months casual running, maybe a couple of times a week using barefoot shoes before I could easily go for a 5-10k run without getting any pains or aches in my calves mainly. And the way I've done it is by taking a little backpack, wearing my barefoot shoes, setting a timer for 5 minutes, swapping shoes quickly and running with my regular trainers for the rest of the way. And that really was the only way I could go in and continue on my running without seriously hurting my leg. So the next con of barefoot running, as you can probably guess, and I mentioned a little bit about it earlier, is the fact that the soles of the shoes are really thin and you can sense anything. I guess the positive about it is that it gives you a bit more balance and you can walk around and feel the actual ground and textures you're standing in. Maybe it keeps you a little bit more in tune of the run, but it definitely at times can be a bit painful. So if there's a little dump on the floor or a stone that you can't see in between other grass or any root, you can definitely feel the force of that. I guess once you use barefoot shoes for a longer time, you get used to this, but it's definitely something you need to watch for. And the last disadvantage of barefoot shoes is not for everyone. This is a little bit of a trend. A lot of people use it and say it's amazing. I like it, but to be honest, there's no massive need. If you are feeling good and your legs are strong and you've been running with regular shoes for a long time and you don't have any back problems or any massive issues when you run, I don't see why you'd want to swap and change into barefoot shoes. It's a bit of a trend and it does attract new people to come in and give it a go. My recommendation, if you want to try barefoot shoes, is to go and get a second-hand pair, follow the guidelines from this video and do some of your own research and decide if it's for you. If not, it's not a big deal. You're still cool even though you don't have clown shoes. I can keep talking about barefoot shoes running forever, but I realize I need to go and pick up my daughter from nursery. If you want to try barefoot shoes running, give it a go. It's not a must. I think it's a great little thing to do. I'm hoping that it's keeping my feet healthy, but I've never had any massive issues whilst running before. Wow, can you see me? Woo! Look at this amazing tree. It's worthy of the outro. That's amazing. So thank you for watching my video about barefoot shoes running. Barefoot shoes running is not for everyone, so give it a go. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.